Ladies and gentlemen, all within the month of January, Bitcoin saw a rejection from 49k and a 21% correction downwards to a major support zone at 38.5k. We have now seen in the last few days a bounce off of that major 38.5k support zone upwards 9% to the doorstep of 42k. And as we've seen this bounce and we've seen this display of strength on Bitcoin, a lot of people are flipping back bullish, but I'm here to ask the major question and answer it. Is Bitcoin destined to go lower even in wake of this bounce? Or is this bounce enough to send Bitcoin higher above that 49k level? Ladies and gentlemen, let's answer that question in this video. Let's get into it. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As we mentioned in the introduction, we're going to be looking into this move to the upside on Bitcoin. Bitcoin has moved upwards now from the low at 38.5k, 9%. It's currently up 8%. We need to look into this move, look into whether it's actually done anything and when a reversal will occur. Before we do that, let's check out the VIP group on Telegram real quick. Right here, you can see the VIP information and results group. It will show you all the information as per the name and results of the VIP group. We've got a PDF with the trading results, over 15 months of trading results in there, every win, every loss, coming to a win ratio of 78.52%. And then we have the pricing details and more information about VIP with my contact details there as well. So check that out if you're interested in trading altcoins on Telegram. Without further ado, let's get into the content. So this is a messy chart, but I'm going to dissect it and you'll understand it fully, I promise. So right here, we have this green box. This green box is 38.5k. It's the major support zone on Bitcoin. Up here, that's the green box there. The red box over here is 48 to 52k, or actually in this case, it's just 47.5 to 48k. That is our major resistance zone. Again, that stems up to 52, but for now, we'll just leave it at that. That's where we rejected from. Bitcoin moved downwards from that rejection box around 21%. We predicted that a rejection 12 hours before it occurred. We predicted it throughout the entirety of the move, but our last prediction was 48k. It rejected from 49, and then we went downwards. So that was a correct prediction. We came down to this support zone. This was our first target for the correction downwards. We reached our first target. That went well. But in recent videos, I've been saying that it's highly likely Bitcoin will go lower. And so now that we've seen a bounce, we need to analyze this move. So what we've done is this. We've bounced off the support zone, pretty strong bounce. And in fact, not only did we bounce off the support zone, but we found support on the bottom line of the daily chart Gaussian channel. And we broke above the yellow line that held Bitcoin upwards. We see this yellow line here on the screen. It actually held Bitcoin upwards from back here in around just the 27th of October. So around 3 months of support was broken to the downside. It was flipped for resistance. You can see this candle close, this candle wick here flipped for resistance, and then we got back above it. Now, I'm going to clear up this chart in a second, but just bear with me here. Right now, Bitcoin, what has it done? Okay, so let's remove the Gaussian channel for a second. Let's remove volume profile. Let's remove RSI. We've gotten above that yellow line. We've also gotten above a pink line on the screen here. Now, this is a very important line, this pink line. This is 41.2k, all right? 41.2k was the line in which we saw from the break into this range on December 4th, okay? We saw it act as support 2, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, and now we've broken above it after a quick little retest from a downside. So this pink level has acted as support and resistance on 7 separate occasions ever since December 4th, which is almost 2 months ago. So it's a pretty major line, right? It's also major on a weekly chart perspective, but we'll look at that in a moment. And getting above it is a step in the right direction, but unfortunately, it's not enough. Okay, a step in the right direction does not mean we're out of danger. We also have gotten above this yellow line on the screen. That's great. But again, it's not enough to confirm a break of this downwards trend, because fundamentally, what is a downwards trend? A downwards trend is a trend in which you have, ever since September 11th, we saw an upwards trend, for example. So we're going to go from there. Upwards trend is higher highs, higher lows. So higher lows the whole way up. Higher highs the whole way up. You can see just kind of this upwards formation forming. And we've recently broken into a downwards trend. In fact, very recently, less than a week ago, we broke into a downwards trend. The downwards trend started fundamentally when we dropped below this level here at 40k. We broke below 40k, we entered a downwards trend. And now what we're doing, right, by all means of observing reality, okay, and it very well could break for sure. Look, we've reached our first target at 38.5k. I still think that Bitcoin is massively in danger of going lower. I still think it probably will. I think that's what the charts suggest. But from what we have right now, we've seen the first low of the downwards trend form, and now we're going upwards, and we're going into form a higher low, a lower high, sorry, right? So this is natural price action, in my opinion. Now, of course, Bitcoin has seen some strength in this price action. Even though it's not out of danger yet, it's seen some strength, okay? We've seen strength in breaking above this yellow line, breaking above 41.3K. This is all good things. We can't deny these things. They're definitely steps in the right direction. But we have to consider as well, there are still many things rejecting us. Gaussian channel center line, for example, rejecting from that currently. And fundamentally, if we're looking at the volume profile for this entire price region, we can go ahead and pick out some very important numbers. So the VVPR, the volume profile, visible range volume profile, shows us that the POC, which is the point of control, the most important zone out of this entire price region ever since we broke 38.5K back in early December, is sitting up here at 43.6 to 43.9K. Now, this is what's interesting. If we go to the weekly chart, what can we see? We can see two very important support and resistance zones. So one support, one resistance. The support is sitting at 41.3K, 41.2K, all right? Now that's interesting, right? Because that's exactly where the pink line on the screen is, 41.2K. And the resistance is sitting right here at 43.8K. Now that's interesting because the POC on the volume profile, again, is at 43.8K. So these two levels, the POC and the volume profile in red, the very important resistance level we need to get back above, and the pink level, the very important resistance zone we just broke above, both are reflected on the weekly chart. This means they are weekly chart levels. And so in order to confirm breaks above them, we need to get weekly candle closes. So I will propose this to you right now. I will say, and what I've said in my last few videos, I'll repeat it again here with more depth. In order for Bitcoin to be out of danger, in my opinion, in order for Bitcoin to actually be in a good position again, and in order for my bearish predictions on Bitcoin, or the rest of them at least, one of them's been reached, to be disregarded to a major extent, we need to be seeing a weekly candle close, not only above 41.3K, but also above 43.8 to 43.9K. When we get that weekly candle close, or if we get that weekly candle close rather, Bitcoin will be out of danger. But until then, it is not, right? I've explained it to you very clearly. These two levels on the screen, the most important levels on this entire range, are weekly chart levels. And in order to break a weekly chart level, you need to break a weekly candle close above them, right? Hence, a weekly candle close above 41.2K, which is very much possible at this point, considering we're right above already, is good, but it's not enough, right? What would be enough is a break above the weekly candle high at 43.8K, and hence a break above the POC on the volume profile as well. So I think that Bitcoin has a big 2 days ahead of it. That's when the weekly candle close is, but specifically next week as well. If Bitcoin manages to get the weekly candle close above 43.8K to 43.9K, it depends on the exchange you're using really, then we're looking good, but until then, we're actually not. Until then, we're still kind of following the same predictive route as we've been following before. What is that predictive route? What are the kind of observations we've made about Bitcoin? We've made various observations. We go back to a community post we did a month ago. We can get a general gist of the overarching trend on Bitcoin, right? We can see in this post I did a month ago, it reads, it has now been 232 days since Bitcoin has seen a 25% plus drawdown, okay? A correction of 25% plus or more. It's been 232 days since we've seen that. The last time Bitcoin went this long without a drawdown of that side was 2011, okay? The fact of the matter is, the last time Bitcoin went this long without seeing a drawdown of 25% or more was 2011, which is when Bitcoin was under $1 in price. That shows you that Bitcoin is very much overextended right now, okay? It shows you that Bitcoin has moved too high for too long due to the ETF narrative most likely, and probably needs to come down. There's many other things we're going to look at in a second, giving you price targets for Bitcoin, and then looking into an inverted chart, looking into Ethereum and total cryptocurrency market cap, and then overarching kind of, I guess, concluding our video and summarizing our views on Bitcoin. We'll take a quick break and we'll get into that in a second.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's a little news flash for you. You trust exchanges with your money. They get hacked all the time. They lose funds all the time. So the exchange you're using, you're actually trusting with your money. You're also paying them fees for trades. You're paying up to thousands, tens of thousands of dollars per year in fees. So you want to have a bloody good exchange, right? And that's why I have two exchanges for you guys, two options depending on your location, depending on what you want from exchange. The first one is Bitget. That is a KYC exchange. You can sign up from anywhere in the world, excluding the United States, excluding Canada and excluding Singapore. Very low fees, protection fund, the whole 9 yards. We've also got Bingx, that's our second exchange, and that is an exchange you can sign up non-KYC from anywhere in the world, including every country, right, with a VPN from anywhere in the world. Again, very low fees, protection fund, everything you need in an exchange. Both of these exchanges are top 10 exchanges in trading volume. Sign up using my referral link below to get a 15% trading fee discount on both of the exchanges. Again, they'll both be in the description. Referral link is there. Get on the good exchange and become a proper trader. Don't use these trashy exchanges that you're risking your money and paying over in fees. Guys, let's get back into the video.
So Bitcoin, although it's making good progress, and quickly let's just get into total cryptocurrency market cap and Ethereum. Although Bitcoin's making good progress and total cryptocurrency market cap is sitting on very strong support, okay, that's good, and that's probably one of the reasons why Bitcoin saw such a bounce. Ethereum's in the same scenario. It's just above major support. It's got this red support line that it's formed that kind of led to the Bitcoin bounce as well. But these structures ultimately aren't looking good. What is that structure? It's a rounding top formation. That's not a good structure, and it could very well be a head and shoulders formation here. So even in these charts, total cryptocurrency market cap and Ethereum, which look good right now, they don't look sustainably good. And so it does also suggest that Bitcoin goes down further. If we're looking at this chart here, this is a very important 10-year trend. We know that Bitcoin moves cyclically. It's objective reality that the 4-year cycle is a real thing. Cyclical moves on Bitcoin are very real. Every cycle we repeat the same pattern. And right now we have a pattern forming, right? You'll see that every cycle has been assigned a yellow line and a red line. Now the yellow line you'll see on the screen here, for example, if we go back to 2014, is the top of the dead cat bounce in 2014 bear market. The red line is the support zone that held us up in the bull market. Now it's the same story in each cycle, right? Yellow line is the top of the dead cat bounce. Red line is the support line of the bull market. 2021, yellow line is the top of the dead cat bounce. Red line is the support that held us up during the bull market. What you'll notice is that every single cycle, okay, during the bear market, during the period after the bear market, I should say, we come upwards from the bear market lows, we reject off the yellow line, and we go around 3/4 of the way down to the red line. That happened in 2016. It happened in 2019 as well. We go upwards after the bottom, we reject off the yellow line, we go around 3/4 of the way down to the red line. COVID didn't count, it was a black swan event, so that was the bottom there. And then we're looking at 2023, 2024. We go all the way up from the bear market bottom. We go up to the yellow line, we reject from that line, and we should go around 3/4 of the way down to the red line, which would take us to 35K roughly. Okay, the red line being at 32K. Now, what are our targets on Bitcoin? Okay, the targets we listed upon the perfect prediction of the top at 49 to 48K were, straight off the bat, and I haven't changed them one bit. The targets were, okay, 38.5K, 35K, 32K, and 28K. Now, those being targets doesn't mean we need to reach all of them. In fact, I think it's very unlikely we reach 28K. But they were targets because they're possibilities. And there were possibilities of Bitcoin reaching those levels without flipping into macro bearish territory. I do believe, although I think it's quite pessimistic to believe Bitcoin will go to 28K, I do believe that if we go there, it wouldn't damage the macro cyclical structure, okay? And I do think also it is a possibility. If we're looking at the Fibonacci trends, right? I've given a Fibonacci retracement from the 2019 high or the 2017 high to the 2018 low. And you can see that we were rejected from this teal level, right, in 2019 in the kind of same period of the markets like we're in now in 2024. And we went downwards to this red level, right, which lined up with the Gaussian channel retest. If we do that same thing again, which, you know, it looks like we might be doing to an extent because we've rejected from a teal level, and if we go down the red level, that would be around 28K, and that would line up with the Gaussian channel retest as well. Okay, so I'm not saying that 28K will happen. I'm saying it's a possibility, and there is a developing trend here that indicates it could happen for sure. There also is this trend here, right, on the kind of more long-term perspective that has been going on every single cycle that suggests we only go to 35K. All right, so what I'm telling you in this video is this, right? Because I know it's been a complicated video. I've kind of been scrambling a little bit in my speech. I hope you understand that it's because I'm trying to get a lot of information out in a short period of time. I'm not trying to waste your time here. I'm trying to keep this concise because I don't think this needs to be a 35-minute video. It's actually quite simplistic, the main point. And I'll summarize the main point now. So in summary, Bitcoin's seen some good things occur. It's bounced off 38.5K. That bounce has lined up and probably was in part caused by total cryptocurrency market cap bouncing on support and Ethereum finding support. But it's bounced off 38.5K. It's broken above a couple of resistance zones, and it's gotten a lot of people hopeful again. I think that there is hope, but I don't think it's likely. And I certainly don't think anything is confirmed at this point. So I don't think that Bitcoin has actually done anything that changes the targets that I just listed, right? The targets being 35K, 28K, 32K. I don't think anything's happened on the short term that changes the reality of those targets being valid. I think those targets are still very valid. What would need to happen for those targets not to be valid anymore? Bitcoin would need to be seeing a break above the upper weekly resistance at 43.8K, let's say 43.9K. All right, that's what Bitcoin would need to break above on a weekly candle close, 43.9K. Until then, the lower targets are still valid. I don't see reason to think they aren't valid. I don't see reason to think the trend is reversed. I think we've made good steps in the right direction, but it's not enough. And I think the likely scenario is still further downside, all things considered. Even if we're looking at Bitcoin from an inverted chart perspective. So this is the entire Bitcoin chart from 2020 inverted. We can see this massive rounding cup formation here, right? And what do you generally see when you see a cup formation like this? You don't just see a breakdown usually. You see, okay, a handle. You see a cup and handle formation. We have not really formed that handle yet. That handle could take us upwards, since it's an inverted chart, that will take us downwards. 32K, 35K, something like that. Then we would break down. Then we would enter the proper bull market. Right, that would not be obscene at all. In fact, that's what I see as likely. So, look, the thing we need to kind of remember here is that Bitcoin, like this community post said, is actually very overextended on a macro scale, right? And we haven't really done enough at all to confirm that this correction is over. The correction has only stemmed 21%. We do need to consider it as a possibility. I'm not denying the possibility of it, but right now we need actual evidence because it's lack of evidence that makes people do stupid things. It's the fact that people see, oh, look, it's a bounce. This is looking okay. We've broken above a couple of resistance zones. They jump in, and then they miss the entirety of a downside move, and they get caught holding Bitcoin or altcoins, whatever, for 3 months, going down 20 to 30% each, right? So we need to be careful, be logical, actually trust the trends themselves. Now, again, I was very, very clear in my previous videos. Do not short into support. I was saying, even though I was suggesting that support would break, I said don't short into it. Do not short into 38.5K. You do not short into a macro support level, just as you do not long into a macro resistance level. So no money would have been lost. And I never said at all that the breakdown would occur instantly. In fact, I said a bounce was likely. Now, for all we know at this point, this is just a bounce. Now, it could develop into a proper move, in which case maybe the ETF narrative actually did have a major effect on Bitcoin price action, because I don't really see how Bitcoin would go upwards from here if it was trusting the TA. That would have to be some dramatic change to Bitcoin fundamentals, but we'll have to track that progression. At this point, nothing's really changed. So we'll keep an eye on the progression. As I said, weekly candle close is in 2 days. That's the really important thing we're looking at, and it should be interesting to monitor it, because right now this weekly candle does look good. There's no denying it. There's a long wick to the downside. It was bought up quite massively. The support was bounced off strongly. I'm not saying Bitcoin looks terrible here. I'm saying we've made good progress, but it's not enough. Guys, with that said, thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. Check out the Crypto Academy. Become a trader 10-unit course. If you appreciate the analysis I do on YouTube here, and you think I'm a good analyst, well, you can learn to analyze charts just like me. And we've actually made a course to help you do that. This is the Become a Trader 10-unit course. It will teach you everything you need to know about trading, everything you need to know about market analysis, including how to do it, how to find trades, market psychology, all these things, fundamental concepts. What is a financial market? How does it work? Everything you need to know, really, or at least 85% of what you need to know is in this course, and the email address is down the bottom of the website for contact details and payment information. Guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.